Welcome to Table for One. I'm the narrator, and this is my channel update for January of 2025. So I'm recording this December 30th of 2024 to come out later this week. To those of you who are new to the channel, welcome, and to those of you who've been here for a while, welcome back. Glad to have you. I aim to do these channel update videos twice a year, the first week of January and the first week of July, just to sort of talk about things that I can't really get to in my other regular content. So I don't have much in terms of visuals in these channel update videos, so I'm just going to be putting other video or still images up on the screen when it's relevant for whatever I'm talking about. And if I don't have anything relevant, I'll just play some footage from previous videos, just so you've got some nice pictures. But I've got a lot to cover, so I'm going to jump right into it. As usual, there are chapter markers, so you can jump ahead if you'd like. But quick review of 2024. If I can be completely honest with you, in just about every respect, this was probably the worst year I've ever had. It was absolutely terrible. Just everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Just as the most recent example of that, we spent most of the week of Christmas, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day themselves, in the pediatric ICU. One of my kids was sick, and Christmas in the ICU with a small kid is not an experience that I recommend. And so that just kind of that capped off 2024 for me. That felt in line with the rest of the year. And so the last week in December, some of you may have noticed, I had intended on putting out another unboxing video as well as one more solo playthrough for Voidfall. I didn't get to those things for those reasons, which I think are pretty valid. So I will release the videos that I intended to release just as soon as I can get to them. So I appreciate patience on that. But the bright spot for me in 2024 was everything board game related. That was like the one thing that was consistently really good for me in 2024. And so that's nice to have. And so let's talk about some of that. One nice thing that just happened on the other week was that I was the featured Creator Spotlight on the front page of Board Game Geek. And so I suspect I got a number of subscribers from that. So welcome to all of you. Thanks for clicking and checking this out. I always wondered how those Creator Spotlights happened. I just assumed that was something you just pay Board Game Geek to, like an advertisement. But no, that was a surprise to me. So that is definitely very cool. In addition to that, my birthday is right around Christmas time, and I got some cool stuff. I got some games, which I've been unboxing, but I also got this, which is kind of neat. I got this candle here, which is the smell of a new board game. It says, with the essence of cardboard and anticipatory joy. I just thought that was kind of fun. That was a bit of fun. And then also, I may have buried the lead there. I also got a 4K camera for this channel, so that's kind of a big deal. So everybody who's I've been getting a lot of comments, people asking about better video quality, and I was always in agreement, but I just could not afford to spend the money on the camera. This channel's been amazingly expensive. You would not believe it. And I'm using a consumer grade camcorder from like 2012 or something, so not ideal. So the 4K camera that I really wanted for this channel was a couple $1,000s, and it was going to be a while before I could afford that, but I was surprised with a birthday gift. So I'm going to be using that soon. I used it all day today just to kind of familiarize myself with it. I reshot the intro for this channel, so stick around. I'll play it at the end of this video. It'll be the only part of this channel update that's in 4K, but I'm excited for it, so you can see that. And for all of you out there who are excited to now be able to see things on my channel, like read cards when I'm playing something like Spirit Island or even Voidfall, just to be able to see the symbols better and maybe some of the text on the technology cards, things like that. Make sure you leave me a comment, say, thank you to Mrs. Narrator, because that was really above and beyond. And so it's nice that I've got the support at home on this channel. So that's pretty cool. So I've got a couple other videos that I've already filmed using this old camera, and I'm waiting on an adapter and a couple other things. So there may be a few more of these videos coming out with the old style or old quality footage, and apologize that, but it's at its end. So 4K is coming very soon. But as I said, the camera was pretty expensive, and even though it was a gift, that was from Mrs. Narrator, so it's all coming out of the same pocket at the end of the day. So let me talk real quick about monetization on this channel. So there's a few things you can do to help out. The first is, I don't really talk about this enough, but I have a Ko-fi page. That's ko-fi. The link is in the description to every video I have, and I've had a couple contributors since my last channel update, so I'll put those names up on the screen here. Thank you guys so much. you're getting the ball rolling, and it's really helpful, and every dollar really does matter. And if you're not familiar with Coffee, the reason I use Coffee instead of something more common like Patreon is because a lot of the other platforms push you to have exclusive content, to have early content, early access, just special things for people who are paying. And that's not really what I want to do with this channel. I want all of my content to be free for everyone, released at the same time. I want everyone to have equal access to anything because not everybody can afford to subscribe to everything or to be a patron to every channel that they like. So I really am trying to be conscious of that. But if you have the desire and the ability to kick me a couple bucks, that would be super appreciated. And like I did here, I'll put your names in a future channel updates. I'll do those twice a year, and it's a really big deal for me, and I really do appreciate it. So I want to thank you. And in addition to that, I had the goal this year of getting up to 1,000 subscribers, and I did it. And really, I didn't do it; you all did it. So thank you very much. I made it a few weeks ago, and actually in the last few weeks, I've surpassed 1,100. I'm actually at 1,124 at time of recording. So that's a really big deal for me because by passing that 1,000 threshold, I was able to monetize this YouTube channel. So a couple things on what that looks like now and what it might look like later. My experience so far is that YouTube offers a lot of ways to monetize your channel, and I don't find that they're all super, viewer friendly. So I have limited control over how it all works. But what I've tried to do is I don't really have a choice over this. There's ads at the beginning or potentially at the end of videos. And basically if you watch the ads, then I get a portion of the ad revenue, which is literally pennies. But one thing that I do have control over is ads in the middle of the video. I've turned those off for all of my videos. I'm going to leave them off. That's my intent because frankly, I just find them annoying, when I'm watching videos. I don't want to be interrupted. Like if there's one at the beginning or at the end, like whatever, you get through it to get to the content that you want to see. But all those mid-roll ads, I'm not including those. At least for as long as I'm allowed to do that. YouTube tells me that I'm losing like 60 to 85% of my revenue by doing that, but I don't want to annoy you. So I'm going to, try and make what I can, but do it in a way that's friendly for everybody. But next up on monetization, you may have noticed that I've got a merch store now on YouTube. So below each of the videos, there's some links to some Table for One merchandise. So the way that works is it's through a third party where I can kind of go in and design some stuff, and then this third party handles the everything, the transaction and the fulfillment and all that good stuff. So all of this stuff is just made to order. It's print on demand basically, and they just set costs for each of the items, and that's how much they're going to take every time one of these things sells, and then I can decide what I want to make on top of it. So for all the items I've got, it's like $5 to $10 for each item that I would actually bring in. But I've got a few things and I'll show them off real quick. Right? It's nothing crazy, but I did purchase everything myself just to make sure that it was not bad quality stuff. So Table for One t-shirts, they're just black t-shirts, the Table for One logo on them. I think I may have some with some text on it as well, but it's it's a t-shirt. It's what you'd expect, but it's comfortable. I'd wear it. I've also got Table for One hoodies. These are zip up hoodies, and it's got the Table for One logo here on it. I ended up getting 2 of these. If you get one of these hoodies, they're fine when you wash it, but don't put it in the dryer. Air dry this. Just hang dry it. Put it on a hanger, because I threw the first one in the dryer and it shrank quite a bit, and so I gave it away and ordered a second one. But it is a nice hoodie. I wore it to PAX this year. It kept me warm in Philadelphia in December. So hoodies, those are there. Third, I've got these Table for One coffee mugs. And I think they say different things on them. This one's "Let's Get Rolling." I don't know. I put a few different phrases on them. If there's a particular phrase you like, let me know, and I'll see if I can get one up in the store. But yeah, black on the inside. I use it frequently. I use this a few times a week. It's microwave safe, dishwasher safe. I throw it in the dishwasher every time. Haven't had an issue. Nothing's like peeling or anything. So I've had this for a couple months, and it's been really good. And it's a nice size. I don't know what size this is in ounces, but I like it. I use it. So there you go. Coffee mugs. And lastly, we've got these Table for One neoprene mats. I don't want to unroll it too much because my camera freaks out with the contrast. Let me try it. Yeah, it gets all dark and freaks out. But it's black on the back, just white on the front, except for this Table for One logo in the bottom left corner. I used it in a couple of recent playthrough videos. These are really good for button shy games. The 18 card wallet games. So I used it recently for my video for Hyperstar Run as well as Death Valley Highs and Lows. So you can go watch one of those if you want to see what this looks like. But neoprene mat, it's a really, I mean, it's sizable. It's pretty good. So I don't have a lot of neoprene stuff, but I do like this one. So those are my adventures in merchandise, and those are available again just below any of the videos. You can click a link. It'll take you to the little web store. And then the last form of monetization is just a reminder. I've got an Etsy store that I co-own with some friends where we 3D print different board game components, and our niche is premium upgrades. So there's a lot of 3D printed, plastic junk out there, but we're making really high quality prints. It's hard to stress how much time and attention we put into the details of these pieces. So we've got a few things available. You can find the link to our Etsy store in all of my videos, but it is Brain Bucket Games. So you can go to brainbucketgames.etsy.com. And if you buy any of that, that'll help me out as well. So those are all the ways that I'm trying to monetize this channel. There's the coffee page, that's just donations. There's YouTube advertisements. That's not really making much, but it's something. There's merchandise, which is available if you'd like to pick anything up. And then there's the Etsy store as well, which is semi-tied to this channel. But really important to me to point out that promotional content is not paid. So I have done over the last year a number of promotional content videos. They've all been, I think, button shy wallet games with the exception of What Lies Beneath, which is like a choose your own adventure dungeon escape game. But I just want to remind you, as you see those promotional paid content tags on some of the videos that I do, none of those are paid for, and you can always find my agreement that I have with the publishers on my official website. It's tablefor1.games. There's a section for publishers. You can kind of read how that works if you're ever curious on what that arrangement looks like. But the long and short of it is, I don't put anything on this channel if I don't like it. And so publishers have reached out and said, hey, would you like to put this game on your channel? And I've said no, because sometimes there's just, I don't think this game is for me, and that's okay. So I don't really, you may have noticed I don't really do reviews on this channel. I think there's plenty of that out there, and that's not really what I'm trying to do. So the promotional stuff, I'll generally do an unboxing if it makes sense. I'll do a solo playthrough so you can kind of see how it works. I might teach a little bit how to play the game, and then I'll just give you my thoughts at the end. But if I'm playing it because I want to play it. And that goes for everything on this channel, promoted or not. If I don't want to play it, I'm just not going to do it. So that's really important to me. And I want to make sure that everybody knows it. My goal on this channel is to cater to the viewers, not to the industry. I think there's plenty of that out there already, and I don't need to be a part of it. And so that's why stylistically this channel's maybe a little rougher. Maybe I'll say it's a little more raw, but it's a lot of solo playthroughs that are just kind of top down, edited together. I don't have all this nice B-roll. Obviously, my face is never on camera because I think that very quickly and easily kind of goes down this rabbit hole of cult of personality a little bit. And I want to do something different than the other board game YouTube channels, and I just want to have something I think a little more honest. And so I don't have scripts that I'm reading from, I'm very clearly talking off the cuff. And I just want to say that that's intentional because I'm trying to provide an authentic experience and just give you my real thoughts as somebody who enjoys playing games. So anyway, a bit of a funny tangent there, but let me tell you a little bit about what's coming up on this channel. So I've been talking about this for a long time, and I'm finally about to start. This is going to be the season of Anachrony. I've played Anachrony a couple times on this channel. It's a super cool game. I really like it. And there are a ton of modules, and it can be a little bit overwhelming because some of the modules are compatible with each other and some aren't. And there's just a lot of them. So getting them all to play nice together can be intimidating sometimes. And so I'm going to do a ton of Anachrony content over the first, 3 to 5 months of this year. I anticipate doing Anachrony roughly every other week. Don't hold me to that, exactly, but that's roughly my plan right now. And so on those weeks when I've got Anachrony content, I'll release one or more videos that are going to talk about individual modules for Anachrony. So it might be a video on, how does the quantum loops module work? How does the hypersync future actions module work? So I'll do individual videos explaining the modules, and then I'll release a solo playthrough that week using the modules that I've described. So you can kind of see how they work in action, at least in a solo game. So I'm excited for that, but obviously not everybody wants Anachrony all the time. So like I said, I'll probably do that every other week, and then I'll intersperse all sorts of other stuff in the weeks between. Yeah, so now I've got a question for all of you. Just leave me some notes in the comments. Let me know what you think. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on solo playthroughs of campaign style games, because I have a number of them and I'd really like to put them on this channel. But I'm curious what everybody's thoughts are. Would you like to see that? And if so, which campaigns? And so things I've done in the past were sort of lighter campaigns, but I played through the Under Falling Skies campaign on this channel. I played through the Mass Effect Priority Hagglers campaign recently. And then I also did in one sitting, because it's sort of a mini campaign, I did Sleeping Gods Primeval Peril as one video. And I don't know that any of those really perform particularly well metrics wise, but if people are enjoying it, I don't need it to get a million views. Like if there's people who find value in it and find entertainment out of it, then I'll make them. And so here's some of the games that I've got that I would consider doing that, and just let me know if anybody's interested in that. So I think my probably favorite campaign game personally of all time is Sleeping Gods. I just find that game amazing, and I think I could probably do that in like a 9-part series the way that I've got it structured in my head. So I would absolutely love to do a Sleeping Gods series if people are interested. And I could also play Distant Skies, but I'd probably rather start with Sleeping Gods. I've also got the Rise of Fenris campaign for Scythe. I'm curious if anybody would like to see that. I have Cloud Age, which can be played campaign style. I forget exactly how many there are. It's not a ton, but there's like a number of missions and you can kind of string them together to make a campaign out of it. I've also got a game, Grimslingers, which I don't know much about. I bought it used. The reviews are not great. It's got several editions out, but the artwork is just unbelievable. It is so good. So I'm curious. The writing to me seems good in the book, so I could play that theoretically as well. I have Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. I've seen a million videos online of people just playing the intro level, but no full campaigns as far as I've seen. So that's a possibility. I've got Undaunted 2200 Callisto. I could play through those 8 levels as either the Breakers or as the Mining Corporation. That might be neat to do. Also, I have Nemesis. I've only played it once on this channel, but I really do like that game. It's a little bit unpredictable to film, but it's cool. But I've got the first 3 Untold Stories, like comic campaign books. And I think one of them can be played solo. I might need to play it multi-handed, but I think one can be played solo. I'm curious, would you be interested in seeing the Untold Stories comic, one of them from Nemesis? And then I've also got Earthborn Rangers coming in. That can be played as a campaign style. So what do you think? Any of those catch your interest? None of them? All of them? Like, do you just not like that style? Because I'd probably do something similar to Anachrony, where I would, play through the campaign and then release one video like every other week until I get through the whole campaign. So let me know your thoughts on that. I'm really curious. And for the record, those are all campaigns that I either have or am going to play regardless, but it's just a matter of, am I going to put them on this channel? And then I mentioned Earthborn Rangers, and I want to bring that back up again. I am in the process of getting lined up an interview with the folks at Earthborn Games, and we're going to talk about the philosophy that they have towards sustainably produced board games and some of the challenges that can come with that. And I'm really excited for it. I think I'm going to do that interview and then probably release it the same day that I can release my unboxing of Earthborn Rangers whenever I get that in. So, I got to meet with those folks at PAX, and we talked a little bit, and that was went really well. So I'm excited for that interview, and I just want to, I guess, in advance, gauge everybody's interest in that, because I did a similar thing with the nice folks over at North Star Games a few months ago. I did an interview with them, and that really did not get much traction. People were not watching that or particularly interested in talking about, ecological considerations of board game manufacturing. I thought it was a great interview, but not a lot of views. So either people missed it, and if that's the case, go back and watch it, or people just aren't interested. So, I'm still intending to do this interview with Earthborn Games, but let me know what you think. Is that something you're interested in or not? Like, should I pursue other interviews on this channel, or should I just leave that alone? So other updates for me, towards the end of 2024, I was able to join a local gaming group, and it is really cool. I just happened to find this group on Board Game Geek by chance, and really it's an ideal group for me. I meet with them maybe twice a month. They meet twice a week, but I go maybe twice a month, and they've got like all the games that I'm super interested in, but not quite ready to pull the trigger and buy. So it's a good opportunity for me to try some games and to play competitively. Typically I always play 4-player, and that's obviously a very different experience from solo, but that's been pretty cool. And so I get to try out, games that I wouldn't otherwise necessarily try. And then, who knows, if there's some that I like, then I'll go pick them up for myself and then I can put them on the channel. But so far I got to play Nucleum, which I got to choose that day. I was really interested in trying that, and Nucleum was a really cool game. I would play it again happily. I don't think I need to own it, but it was a cool experience. I really like some of the mechanics, particularly the action tiles also being your rails. I just really enjoyed that. I played that with two experienced players, and then there were two first-time players, me being one of them, and so I came in third, so I'm okay with that. But I got over 100 points, so I at least feel good about that playthrough for a first time. And then I also got to play Dead Reckoning, which was, again, something I don't need to buy, but it was really neat. I liked a lot of aspects of it. The combat was really interesting with the dropping of these cubes into this crazy boat tray. But I'm not real big into that direct player interaction, and so I actually won that game. But I won it by kind of hiding in the corner and going under the radar and sort of building some stuff up. And then at the very end, at the very last turn, I just attacked this guy and sank his ship and took all his coins. And, it was good for me. I won, but I kind of felt bad just about sinking this guy's boat. It felt personal. I felt really bad doing that, but hey, it's a pirate game. I guess that's what you got to do, right? So that was a neat experience. Again, I'd play that again as well. I'd probably enjoy it more solo, if I'm being honest, because then I don't feel bad about sinking other people's stuff. But that was a pretty neat game. And that was Ian O'Toole's artwork again. That was pretty neat to see. Because he did Voidfall, so I'm a fan of his iconography. He did a good job with Dead Reckoning as well. And then I missed a week because we were in the hospital, like I said. But we were supposed to play On Mars, and I didn't get to do that one. Which I've never played a Lacerda game. I really want to. I want to check those out, and if I had to pick one, it would be that one, just based on theme, which is no surprise if you've been watching this channel. But luckily, that one's on the menu again. We're going to do it again in January, so I have another opportunity to learn and play On Mars. So that's one I've been curious about for a long time, and if I really loved it, I would buy it, but I don't know what to expect yet. And then at the end of January, they've got scheduled a game of Voidfall, which I am super excited about because that one I actually know how to play, and I'm sure I've got the most experience out of that group, but I've never played it competitive. I've played solo, and I've played 2 and 3 player co-op and love that, but I've never played competitive. So I think I'm going to have an edge because I kind of know what I'm doing, but it's going to have a totally different flavor, There won't be any heroic or joint focus cards. There won't be a crisis board at all. That's going to be wild. So looking forward to trying Voidfall in a different way. Outside of that, I do have a bunch of games on order. Let me quickly run through the list that these are games that I had already talked about in my video in July of 2024. So some of these I'd expected to have by the end of the year, and as it goes with these things, with crowdfunding games especially, they get delayed a bit. So I don't have these yet, but you can expect unboxings and likely playthroughs of all of these soon. So inbound right now are Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, Under Our Sun, Planet Unknown, and that's with the Supermoon expansion, Earthborn Rangers, Booba Kiki, Perseverance, and that's episodes 1 through 4 with the Chronicles mode, and then on the opposite side of the complexity scale, A Nice Cuppa, which I did a promotional video for a few months ago, but I liked it so much that I backed it myself on Kickstarter to get the expansions too. So when I get that, I'll play it again with the expansions, and I'll put that up on this channel. So those are some things that are coming in. There's a few other games I want to mention in a little more detail. The first is Vantage. I guess I'll go through this one quickly, but because I talked about this one in July of 24 as well. This one is the next game for Stonemaier Games, and they don't do crowdfunding or pre-orders or anything, but this game now has a tentative release date of July of 2025, so I'm really looking forward to it. They did sell the metal coins early, so I've got the coins. I'm going to get the game. So Vantage is one to have on your radar for later this year. And then crowdfunding-wise, I've funded 2 games since in the last 6 months, which is not too much. The first is Vestige, and this is by Orange Nebula, who were not on my radar, but I am suddenly very excited by this company and some of the stuff they're doing. So Vestige has just some really cool themes and artwork. but it's a little bit cyberpunkish. Sounds like a pretty dystopian, modified human future with maybe some light space exploration thematically, not gameplay wise. But it claims to be, a Euro style game that you can play in like an hour, which those claims are sometimes dubious. But even if it takes longer, it looks like a cool game. I'm pretty excited for it. And that's going to have a solo mode. So I did order that, and I think I'll get that, I don't know, maybe August of 2025. And then I also ordered the next Mind Clash game, Revenant, which is pretty interesting because it's a standalone game, but it takes place in the Voidfall universe. So this is a worker placement game that, you don't need Voidfall to play it at all, but you'll see a lot of the same themes. The idea is at the time of the Voidfall, the ruling house, the Noverkon house, takes this flagship and basically makes a big arc out of it with all of human knowledge up to this point, and tries to get it out out of harm's way and away from the Voidborn, so that humanity can rebuild. And so players play different houses, and you're trying to gain favor with some of the great houses whose names you'd recognize from Voidfall by protecting the Revenant ship from Voidborn attacks. And you're kind of upgrading your own fleet by visiting these other houses, going to their ships by placing your captains and your various workers. So it looks very interesting. Obviously, I love the theme. I want to know everything about the Voidfall universe and what's going on in it. So that was an easy one for me to back, but I don't think that's going to deliver until probably the first quarter of 2026. So we've got a little time on that one. But those are the only games that I've recently backed. And my collection has grown quite a bit. 2024 was an expansion year, year of the growth for my collection, and 23 as well. And I think in 25 I want to minimize the number of new games. I want to slow down a lot and just play and enjoy the games that I have more. There's plenty of games that I have that you have not seen on the channel. And so maybe if I stop getting new stuff, I can put more of it on the channel, because I'd like to just get it out there, because there's some really cool stuff. Then lastly, I'll just mention my new acquisition. So I think I mentioned this earlier, but my birthday and Christmas are right around the same time. So I did get a couple of games that way. So the first was Coffee Roaster, and I've already got that unboxing out. I've played it a few times now. I really do enjoy that one. I'm not in love with the storage system that comes with it, but the game is very good. So I will get that on the channel at some point. And then I also got Twilight Inscription. So I've got, I think that video is probably coming out today, that unboxing. I meant for come out a couple of weeks ago, but December was what it was, so it's not out yet. But Twilight Inscription is pretty cool. I've read the rule book. I have not had a chance to play it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And then I also received Sky Mines, which I don't know a ton about. I have not opened it yet. I still need to film the unboxing, so that one's still in the shrink. But Sky Mines is definitely a theme that I'm excited about, and I think that has maybe like a mini campaign-esque mode. You can play like 3 or 4 levels that you can play in order. I'm not 100% certain about that, but you'll see some sort of Sky Mines on this channel before too long. And then lastly, you'll be seeing some Unsettled. So I mentioned that I recently backed Vestige, and that put Orange Nebula on my radar. And I said, the more I researched them, the more interested I was. And I found this previous game of theirs, Unsettled, which is like a planetary exploration game, which involves using your wit and just your knowledge gained from exploring to try and get off of the the various planets where you're marooned. So there's no weapons or anything. You're not shooting your way out. You've got to like solve these puzzles, and that seemed very cool to me. It's a fully co-op game, recommended for more than one player. So I don't know if I'll do solo playthroughs on this channel, but it seems like a great system where there's like a core box that's, I think they call it the frame or the framework, and that's like the main components that you're going to use all the time with the main rule set. And then every planet is its own box. So I think that the framework comes with the first 2 planets, and then I went and purchased, I think, 4 more. I think there's maybe another 5 out there. So I'm going to just space those out. I'm going to open it all at once, but I'll do a series of videos for unboxing like each planet one at a time, and some of the other add-ons. I'll just do a bunch of separate unboxing videos and spread those out probably over the next 6 months or something. But I'm really looking forward to that one and playing that with some friends. But I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. I've gone on for a long time about a lot of things, and I think I'd like to put a cap on this this year. Goodbye 2024 and good riddance. And I'm looking forward to a lot of cool stuff in 2025. So So thanks for being here. Thanks for being on the journey with me. I really appreciate it. You know, it's been so cool this year to to get to know some of you and have like some regular commenters. So I know when I put out a button shy video or when I put out a voidfall video, you know, when I put out different types of content, I know who's going to comment on it and what, you know, I'm always excited to get the different reactions and engage with you all. You know, I just want you to know it's really genuine and it's really cool. It just like makes my day. So thank you for everybody who participates with me and is making this a two-way conversation and not me just talking at my wall. So from me to you, thank you very much. You know, I really appreciate you. I hope you have an awesome new year. I hope 2025 is great for everybody. And as promised, if you want to switch your YouTube over to a 4K stream real quick, I'll play the new intro for you, and you can look forward to seeing it at the beginning of every video for the foreseeable future. So thank you everybody for being here. Truly, you are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's get rolling.